Hello, and welcome back to The Honest Left. Now, the past couple of days have been rough. And I would have made a video yesterday about Super Tuesday, but in all honesty, I was in kind of a post-mortem state. It was very sad what happened on Tuesday. And I did not see this coming. I did not see any way that this was going to happen, but here we are. Now, there's no way around it. Biden dominated on Super Tuesday. He won 12 out of the 16 states, with Bernie winning 4 states. Now, before Super Tuesday, I made a video saying Bernie was going to win 8 out of 16 or 9 out of 16, but he got crushed. And it looks like, unfortunately, Team Joe has all the momentum at this point. And it has grown even larger. Now we have Bloomberg that has dropped out and endorsed Biden. We have endorsements coming everywhere for Joe. We have politicians from everywhere endorsing Joe. We have media personnel from everywhere endorsing Joe. They have gone all in on Joe Biden. And I mean, I hate to say it, but it's smart, you know? It's smart. This is what the Republicans failed to do with Donald Trump. They were splintered for far too long. They didn't come together in time. The Democrats are not making the same mistake. And it's painful, you know? It's very painful. We sit at a delegate count of 596 for Biden, 521 for Bernie. Now, this is by no means over. I don't want the sentiment to be that I'm defeated and I'm giving in. No, this is by no means over. We have 3 months. We have 3 more months of primaries and debates. And let me just say, these one-on-one debates I'm very excited for. Because, you know, Biden, he has a hard time talking when there's 7 people up there to take up time. Now it's just him and Bernie. It's just his rhetoric and Bernie's rhetoric. And who's going to come out on top? Well, if I had to say, Biden is an awful debater at this point in his life. Now, he used to be pretty good. Back in 2008, he had some good debates. But, I mean, you guys have seen him. You've seen him up there. He can't even form a good sentence. And he's going to have a lot more talking time in this one-on-one debate. And that's not good for him. That is not good for Biden. That does not help him. Now, I don't want people to think that I'm some kind of Bernie shill, right? I see mistakes, and I'll call them out when I see them. Bernie is making a couple mistakes. He keeps pushing this narrative that he's the anti-establishment candidate. He's going against not only the Republican establishment, but the Democratic establishment. But he keeps saying that Joe Biden is his friend. And he said this many times. And, one person that was working in Bernie's team made an article saying that Joe Biden had a corruption problem. And Bernie went up there and condemned their article. And that doesn't look good, right? Now, when I go deep into policy, right? I learn about the policies, I go with the policies that I like. But everyone's not like that. Some people might just want the anti-establishment candidate. And they want him to be fully anti-establishment. You can't say you're anti-establishment, but say that Joe Biden, probably the most establishment Democrat, is your friend. That just doesn't work. And then he's running this ad with Obama saying nice words about him. And he did an interview last night with Rachel Maddow, and she asked, well, is Obama part of the Democratic establishment? And he essentially said no. And that's not a good look. It doesn't look good. And I think things like that are shooting Bernie in the foot. You know, as well as he's done in this campaign, as well as he's, united people, and he's had this grassroots energy, and, he's run a campaign unlike any other that we've seen, or at least I've seen in my lifetime. But you need to pick one or the other, right? Are you fully anti-establishment? Are you fully in on going in and burning it down? Or, are you going to compromise a little bit? Because I don't want compromise. And I don't think a lot of his voters want compromise. I want change. I want you to burn it all down. I don't want you to be compromising with the establishment. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of his campaign, in all honesty. And this isn't really his fault, but he's been banking a lot on young voter turnout. And young voter turnout has been abysmal. It has been abysmal compared to, I think, what he thought it would be. And there's a lot of comparisons to Obama in 2008, where he had this huge young voter turnout, and Bernie's not really seeing that. And, I think a big part of it is that, people got burned by Obama. Obama had this huge energy, and he was about real change, and he was about all this, and then he sold out. He sold out once he was in office, and, he went back on a lot of things he said he was going to do. I mean, look at Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster. I think the system before was better. Penalizing people because they don't have health care is insane. That's stupid. That's such a stupid policy. And those people who feel like they got burned by Obama, they're not going to go vote for Bernie. And that's not, a lot of those people aren't the young voters anymore, but they have influence over the young voters. They might have, kids, nephews, nieces, cousins, whatever, who are voting age now, and they're saying, be careful. Be careful. I voted for Obama. I didn't get what I wanted. Don't think you're going to get everything with Bernie. And it's hurt a lot. It has hurt him a lot. Super Tuesday was just a disaster. And it was so deflating. I just kept looking at the results and just, man. It was just like a depression. It was like sadness. It felt like a loss. Like I lost somebody. Because it was just so bad. And just seeing... It horrifies me. It horrifies me to think that I will have to watch Joe Biden debate Donald Trump. Because I said this in the last video. There's no way. There's literally no way Joe Biden is beating Trump. There's no way he's even going to be able to stand up there and go toe-to-toe with him in a debate. Okay, you guys remember Hillary Clinton debating Donald Trump? Joe Biden will be 100 times worse. It will be horrid to watch those debates. And just the idea, like I said, there's no way that Biden would beat Trump. But in some sort of crazy, twisted, parallel universe type stuff, if he does win the presidency, oh my God, that image is just terrible. It makes me physically ill to think that Joe Biden would be up there trying to give a State of the Union address. Trying to talk for 2 straight hours. He can barely talk for 3 seconds. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see Joe Biden debating Trump. I do not want to see Joe Biden becoming president. It makes me physically ill to think about. So the question is then, if I don't want to see that, what do we do? What do we do? Biden has all the momentum. He won big. He won very big. There's no getting around that. And he has tons of momentum. All the momentum that Bernie had going into Super Tuesday, winning those first 3 states by big margins, losing South Carolina, but everyone kind of expected that to happen. It's all gone now, though. All that momentum is gone. And, Bernie's base, they might be a bit deflated. And, it makes sense. I'm deflated. But... this just means we have to fight. And we have to fight harder than before. We have to fight longer. We have to fight harder. We have to fight with more grit and more guts than we ever have before. And also, Elizabeth Warren today announced that she is dropping out. Okay? And I was on the Twitters looking at the reactions, and there were people, believe this or not, this is insane to me. There were people who were tweeting out hashtag Warren to Biden. And they were saying, oh, now that Warren's out, I'm backing Joe Biden. What? You're going to back the ideological opposite of the candidate you were backing before? What? That is crazy. And at this point, Warren hasn't endorsed anybody. And if she endorses Biden, her career is over, baby. Everything that, look, It's already been proven that you can't believe anything she says. But if she endorses Joe Biden, the establishment Democrat, the moderate Democrat, and goes against everything that she has said she stands for, her career is over. And no one will want to back somebody like that. Nobody. Well, I mean, obviously there's a few dumb people out there who think that Biden is like the next best option to Elizabeth Warren, even though he's against every single progressive idea that she says she's for, but whatever. If she backs Biden, ooh baby, there's going to be hell to pay for that one. But if she backs Bernie, I'm kind of torn on this, right? Because if she does endorse Bernie, that means her base, there's a better chance that her base is going to get on board with Bernie, help him out against Biden. But, for me personally, I don't really think I want Elizabeth Warren endorsing Bernie Sanders. Because Elizabeth Warren throughout this campaign has shown that she has no idea what she's doing. And she's shot herself in the foot over and over and over. I mean, we don't call her the snake for no reason, right? We don't call her the snake for no reason. She went against almost everything that she said she was for, right? She says, I'm for Medicare for all. And then she backs off and says, well, I don't know if we can get it done. I don't know, blah, 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 and she's just not good. She's just not good. That's the simplest way that I can put it. She's just not good. And like I said, her endorsing Bernie could help. But at the same time, morally, I don't think it's right. And we'll see what happens. Chances are, she could just completely stay out of it and then just back the nominee. But we will see what happens. But like I said, we are in a hole now. It's not a giant hole. It's still doable, but we are in a hole now. And we have to fight harder. We have to speak louder. We got to get more people involved. That's the only way this is going to happen at this point. Because the entire establishment, we love to think that they don't hold as much power as they think they do, but we were just proven very wrong on Tuesday. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. But it motivates me. It makes me want to come on here and rant more and educate more people about what our cause is and what we want and why we think it's good. And, everyone else needs to do their part too. But that's all I got to say. It was more of a rant type video again. I'm going to try to make some more like educational content soon, like my why democratic socialism video, where I'm just explaining things, explaining facts and systems and policies and all this other stuff. But I'm just fired up, man. I am fired up because that was a huge blow. But you know what? When you get knocked down, you got to get back up. You got to keep fighting. And we got to keep fighting. We got to fight harder than we were before. So, anyways, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe to keep up to date. Let me know your thoughts, how you're fighting down in the comments below. And thank you for watching.